Hey there YouTube. Tonight we're going to be installing this Magpul MOE Rifle Stock. I picked this up because if you remember from an earlier video, the tube that I had on this rifle was kind of crappy, and I've been shooting this rifle a lot lately, and what I noticed was with my long arms I almost always have the collapsible buttstock extended to full length. So what I decided was I'd try out this stock because I have an A2 on my SPR and I really like it, and for someone with long arms like me, there's really no point in having a collapsible stock. I do have other rifles with collapsible stocks on them, so if I need to I can always run one of them if I ever do get body armor or something like that, but so far I don't have that and don't really plan on getting it. So I figured I'd show the installation of this. It's nothing major. In fact, it's a lot easier than installing a collapsible stock just because how some of the components go together, but I thought I'd share it anyway. In the box you'll get your rifle stock, a big old poster from Magpul, Magpul sticker, and then instructions on how to install the stock. And I also get the buttstock screw. I was glad they sent this because the tube I have doesn't have one, and the last one of these I installed I had to go to the hardware store and hunt for a screw for it, and ended up having to jerry-rig something from a machine screw because I couldn't find this exact screw at any hardware store locally. To my understanding, this buttstock is about an ounce less heavy than an A2 stock, but I don't have one removed from a rifle right now to check it. And it also has a compartment that's a little easier to get into than an A2 stock. So now as the A2 stock, you have to kind of stick your thumb in there, and sometimes you have to almost get the tip of a bullet or a screwdriver to get in there. I don't know how much I'll actually use this. I'm kind of hoping I can find a cleaning kit that'll fit in there, but for now it's just going to be empty. Alright, first things first, like with any buffer tube that you install, you need to put your buffer detent spring in and your buffer detent, and then this just screws in like a normal buttstock or buffer tube would. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on there just because I'm paranoid. You probably don't need this, but there's no reason not to use it, and it's just a little added insurance. And just press down your detent, screw it all the way in until your detent stays in place, and take your armorer's wrench and find the right part, and then just tighten her up. She ain't going nowhere. Now the rifle stock just slides over the tube, but before you push it all the way on, you want to make sure that your detent spring here, I get the camera to focus, and make sure that this detent pin and spring are installed, because you'll compress this spring when you slide the rifle stock forward. This is where it's a little easier than a collapsible buttstock, because you can just basically it's direct pressure on this, as opposed to having to get your plate in there and try to get this squished down and then tighten your casting it all at the same time. Alright, and once you got it on there, just go ahead and take your buttstock screw and screw it in. Magpul is nice enough to put some thread locker on this screw ahead of time, so there's no need to add any Loctite or anything like that to it. Alright, and there you have it, all installed. It's on there nice and tight. Nothing's going anywhere. The last little bit would be put your spring and your buffer in. This is nothing too complicated. Just slide the spring in. slide your buffer in. One thing to mention, I'm sure everybody's figured out by now, you do need a rifle buffer system for this stock. And there we have it, the completed rifle. I went ahead and threw my Little Creek Trading Company sling on there. I've got the rear of it mounted in the sling loop on the stock, and then the front I've got a Magpul paraclip here. I'm not sure this is where I'm going to keep it at, but this is the only place I could think to put it that it wouldn't interfere with putting my hand on the handguard. So I'm still playing around with that. Next step for this rifle is probably going to be paint, so that should be coming up in a future video. If you found this video helpful or informative, please like, share, and subscribe. And if there's any questions on this rifle or any of the parts I put on it, please leave me a comment down below. Thanks.